If I plan to motor west, travel my way, that's the highway, that's the best.
If you plan on going down the highway today, you are going to want to make sure to be at historical Main Street today. We are at the Mosaics Fine Art Festival. It happens once a year. Once a year, it comes to the historical Main Street of St. Charles, and these vendors from all over the country come here to showcase their art. You have to be an artist. You've got to be the one doing the painting, the sculpture. They jury these. I mean, they have people from all over the world that sign up to be a part of this event, and there's only 100 or maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less that are selected to be part of this fair. Sometimes they have up to 100, but then they're at an art fair the week before, they sell out of everything, and then they're not with us. But this is an incredible art fair, and it's a 3-day event. It starts on Friday, and it goes through till Sunday for people to come and enjoy this incredible art fair, 3-day exhibit artwork. You know, our question of the day, of course, for In Your City Show is, would you rather have a famous art piece, or would you rather be a famous artist? So we're going to find out what people would really like to be or have from that question. You are listening to In Your City Show. I'm Kelley Lamb Montgomery with Gordon
We
Montgomery.
hope you are anyway.
Yeah, we've been having some technical difficulties. That's what goes with, trying to go live at a big event. It is sponsored by St. Charles County, Clayton, and Chesterfield City Lifestyle Magazines. Magazines that are delivered directly to 45,000 homes and over 3,000 businesses right here locally within your cities. And that's what we love to do. If you're interested in being seen is what we say of the magazines, of course, you can find us on Facebook at either of our personal pages at Chesterfield, Clayton, or St. Charles County City Lifestyle pages amongst our Facebooks, our Instagrams, and our LinkedIn accounts. There's no way you can't find us, that's for sure. You can also go to citylifestyle.com/Chesterfield, Clayton, or St. Charles County and be able to find us there. So you can't miss us, right?
That's right.
So, Gordon, let me ask you.
Ask me away now that I'm finally, with all the technical problems that we had this morning, and when I get technical problems, it gets a little crazy.
So anyway, Gordon, what would you rather be? A famous artist, or would you rather have a famous art piece?
I think I'd rather have a famous art piece, because if you're a famous artist, you're really never famous until you're dead. So I don't want to be dead. I would rather just have a piece, still be alive, and just have the art piece.
It is true, isn't it? Like a Picasso, he didn't even get to enjoy the billions and billions of dollars that are made on his artwork, right?
That's
so
right.
That might be true. So I'll take a famous art piece, one that's worth millions, of course, and then I'll sell it.
There you go.
Most people don't. They spend all that money to put it onto their walls.
For example, let's put in Thomas Kincaid. Thomas Kincaid's pieces were very popular at one time, and everybody just bought them up. But he went through some trouble, and then all of a sudden his artwork started to diminish in price.
Yeah, you can't get into trouble. But then again, Van Gogh cut off his ear, and
those guys back in the old days did a lot of stuff.
So that was okay.
Famous.
Okay, do you know who the most famous artist is of all time?
Of all time, I'm going to say Picasso.
No. Leonardo da Vinci is known as the most famous artist. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. The finger of God. Didn't he do the finger of God with touching Adam's finger and Sistine Chapel?
They meant to go like that, and someone stuck their finger out. you got Michelangelo, Andy Warhol, Vincent van Gogh, Claude Monet, Rembrandt, Pablo Picasso's in there, Salvador Dali. Now, I have to say, that's the only one, and then Jackson Pollock. I watched his movie, and that's really why I know about Jackson Pollock, was watching his movie. He kind of went insane. A lot of them do. A lot of the artists are insane. Are all these artists insane on this street?
Oh, I'm sure. You know what?
Are they all crazy?
It's something about
people. We'll have to check for ears.
Something about people who are artistic, whether it's in music or whatever it is.
Well, you're artistic, you're music, and
what
you're
are you saying? I'm a little crazy.
Weird. Have you heard of Salvador Dali? Because I haven't.
Oh yeah, he's got the pieces like the clock that kind of melts over the
Now I'm going to have to read about him, because
he's got like the staircase that just continues, all kinds of weird stuff.
Oh, I do know about the staircase. So that one did. Good job. That was really great. So, okay, so we're at the event. We are going to we've got some guests that we're going to meet with today. We hope we get to speak to Nelson Perez. We started a little bit later than what we were supposed to, and I know he has a booth here. We're going to be speaking to Denise Wulff. She is the president of the Mosaic Fine Art Festival. And then Melinda Nolan, I don't know if she's going to take some time. She is the vice president, also the owner of Romer Originals.
Oh, very cool.
Been in there before, right?
Yes, we have.
Gorgeous jewelry. And then April Moxley, who is right across from us there at April's on Main, is going to come over and talk a little bit, too, about her store and all the things going on Main Street. And then you never know. People walk up, think we're the information booth, and we might be talking to people that walk by.
Somebody did come up and it's like wanted the map or the little direction piece that we have.
So if you're listening to us live on Facebook, as always, our show will be up on all of the podcast sites, your favorite, that you'll be able to listen to. Instagram, it'll be shown off on YouTube, at the In Your City show page, as well as LinkedIn, and everywhere that we can possibly hold this show out to.
That's right. Did you just say?
Exactly.
I'm catching up a little bit today.
We'll put it anywhere. So, it's cool. If you haven't been to historical Main Street, let us tell you a little bit about it. Not that we're, the knowing of all being here, but this historical Main Street is as it was when it was the first capital. Of course, it's a little bit, different with all the stores and shops and restaurants that it has, but people actually live above some of the shops. The cobblestones are here. They were actually redesigning. We'll have to take a walk down to where the Daniel Boone and some of the historic homes that are down there, because they were updating, fixing. You have to do that, of course, to historical buildings. They were doing some work. I wonder if that's been finished.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know, is that it? I think, or maybe it's down a little bit ways,
down,
but the new soda shop museum is coming here to streets. And I walked by there the other day, and what they have done to that, I think it used to be the old Jean Shoes place.
I think it was. You're right.
And remember Jean Shoes? It looked like something from like a Kresge or something from back in the day.
But I actually love that window. I love that look of that old time, because it makes it feel like when you were a kid and you did the window shopping.
So, okay, let's say Jean Shoes, because it was here forever. It was a staple down here on Main Street.
Yeah.
And that's where the new soda shop museum is going, which I said it looks phenomenal what they've done to the face of that and the inside of it. Can't wait for it to open. But remember Jean Shoes, or just shoes as a kid? What were the two most popular shoes as we have? Well, that's going to be quite entertaining on Facebook for you. So
the bloopers of In Your City show. Maybe we should just lay those down. We don't need them. There's no lighting that's going to help us today anyway. Let's just let those go.
I would just let them sit down.
That is the kind of day that we're having. These are the kind of shows that drive a person to drink.
Anyway, it was now I've forgotten everything.
Jean Shoes, the two famous shoes.
Red Goose shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And what was the Buster Brown shoes?
Buster Brown.
I'm going to go fix the camera and make sure it's
those should be artifacts. So today there are clay drawings, there are glass, leather, metal, pastel, oil, acrylic, photography, printmaking, watercolors, wood. There are so many styles and types of artists that are down here. In fact, our friend Cindy, they've already been down here and bought 3 pieces, and she sent me a picture of it, which is gorgeous. So right now, if you were here Friday night, great. This will be Saturday running through 8 p.m. and Sunday running through 4 p.m. So it won't stay quite as late. One of the things that I was so excited about this to know is that there is the Mary Hediger's Art Shop for Kids. She was a very good friend, known her for a very long time in the media, and we lost her sadly. I don't know if it's been a year or 2 already that Mary's been gone. It seems like it was yesterday, but it warms my heart to know that the Art Shop for Kids is in Mary Hediger's name. And that is for youth shoppers 4 to 14. They're admitted to purchase 1 piece of fine art, cash only, while supplies last. And it'll be generously donated by the Mosaics Festival artists to benefit their founder scholarship. So I love seeing that. But we're going to invite the president over to the podcast show that falls apart in front of your eyes, Denise Wulff, so that she can kind of tell us a little bit more about why and how this got started and some of the wonderful things that are going on, the Children's Village, the Artists for Adoptions, how they're raising money. So we're going to talk to Denise. Here she is, still in one piece. Everything is just, I'm just waiting for a tornado to swoop us all away or something like that. But luckily, the weather is gorgeous. You have some great sponsors that are part of this event, and we're excited to be here. As difficult as technology can be sometimes, we're here, and we're thankful that we get to showcase such a spectacular event. The people from, your artists come from all over the country, but, people come from all over to be part of this event as well. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, we're definitely a destination event.
I'm going to have you hold this, and we're going to have Gordon.
No, you're on. You're good. You're good.
Okay, but I couldn't hear her, so we're going to just
because
do that.
I didn't have her mic on.
Okay, there you go. This will be.
Let me.
There you go. No, I can't hear at all. So let me see your mic, because this is the kind of day. Yep, you're on, and I'm going to give you my mic in a minute if we don't. So again, this is Denise Wulff. She is the president of the Mosaics Fine Art Festival. All right, let me see if I can hear you now, Denise.
I've been president for 3 years.
There you are. I heard that loud and clear. I'm so happy. Okay, so tell us a little bit first about how this is your 27th annual event. So
7th annual. We'll use an annual a little bit loosely since we get shut down in the pandemic. And double micing it.
It's working. Kelley doesn't give me 2 seconds to fix anything.
When you're live, you got to keep the show going. So I want to make sure of that. So Denise, try it again.
Hello. So 27 years. We did skip the pandemic as a lot of our shows and different events. Went on pause for a little bit, but we are back.
We were all on pause.
We're back for our second year after post-pandemic.
Yeah.
And very excited. We have 71, 72 artists with us this year. We're very excited. It's a good number. We're a small show. And
did some people get together and go, you know what? We need to give these people a platform. And they just said, let's do this.
Yeah, most definitely. It started, actually, Joyce Rosen was our founder. She founded the Foundry Art Center.
Okay.
And so she got that going and wanted to get art out into the community and help artists even more. So she put together a volunteer board. And this is the only show we do all year. So we take a month off. We spend about 10 months planning.
I was going to say, you probably spend most of the year putting the event together before it ever even happened.
What goes into that planning? I mean, you say it takes 10 months, so...
you mentioned lots of sponsors. So we're not-for-profit. So we have sponsors in the community, grants. So we reach out that way, but we have...
T.R. Hughes, Tony's on Main Street, Carrollton Bank, Keogh Chiropractic. I mean, it goes on and on. Roma Originals, of course, Melinda.
And artists. How do you go about getting your artist?
The artists apply for the show. So we are a juried show. So they send in photos of their art, and it goes through a jury process. Basically, we're selecting the best of the best. And
making sure they're not out there buying someone else's art to sell, right?
That's
right. Look how great I am. You look at the back, designed by China.
Has that ever happened? Has anybody ever submitted something and you go, red flag that?
There are definitely some folks out there that are applying.
There not be, okay?
Yeah, so it's taken a really good close look.
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
what we're doing. And
do you try to make sure you have a real rounded selection of type art? Because I was trying to learn a little bit about art. It's been since college when they make you take, if depending on your major, what art classes or things you have to take, and you learn about Rembrandt and all these things and the eras that they were in and so forth. And so, you realize there's right now they say the most popular is contemporary art. But you talk about pop art. I don't even know what cubism is. Graffiti, of course, surrealism, modern, abstract. There's so many. So do you try to figure out, we need a little bit of everything?
It's we're going to send you back to an art history class, though.
Okay.
And we can define all those different expressionism and
yeah.
for you. But we look more at getting a variety of types of art, different
Okay.
medias. So the oil, the acrylic, photographers. Everybody always loves the jewelry artists.
Sure.
Kelly loves the glass art.
Glass.
I
There's
do.
glass artists.
Love the glass.
We have sculpture. We have a gentleman here today that's done ceramic lamps. I mean, it's just
Everything.
It's just everything. And you want a good variety because
Yeah.
while I might come down and be like, oh, I love the paintings, everybody's not me. So you want to see all types of art.
And is that the word fine that that distinguishes what you're looking for? Because there might be some people that think that they're craft items, they're wreaths or they're wooden benches, or I'm not sure, makers type. Is that what fine means? Is that differentiate what is from a craft art festival?
fair, right?
Okay.
And not to discount.
No,
crafters,
right.
they make beautiful pieces,
Exactly.
but we wanted to focus on the fine art. There are an abundance of craft fairs out and
Yeah.
about, even here last month.
But the difference
Festival
of
of
craft
Oils.
and fine are two different types of
different
art.
types. So
Okay.
we're smaller festival, we're focusing on fine art.
Sure. Okay, great. Do you have a favorite? No, not meaning a favorite booth. Wait, I don't mean a favorite booth. And by the way, are they being judged? Will someone win?
Yes, we have a judge. We will have 9 awards this weekend.
Do they get to come back then automatically?
They automatically get to
Okay.
come back next
Now, are
year.
the judges secret? Do they know when the judge is coming by, or is it someone
They-
they don't know who it is?
It kind of depends on how the judge wants to do it.
Okay.
So the judge or judges, won't give away even how many, we'll walk through just kind of casually and look at everything, talk to the artists. A lot of times they can be identified because they carry a clipboard.
That might do it.
So that might be one giveaway.
Maybe they'll judge ours. I'm sure we'll pass with flying colors. You know what I find amazing, and I've met a few people recently. One of them is Faith Berger, and we went to her art show at Neiman Marcus. And we were shocked because they were gorgeous. She just picked up painting during the pandemic. How do you, your whole life, all of a sudden you realize you have this talent
hidden
inside your
talent.
body
Yes.
that, I'm still looking for mine. I hope it comes out eventually.
And then there's some artists that are just so popular, and you look at their art and you go, I think a 3-year-old could do that, but yet it's incredibly, it's incredibly artistic, and people love it. And it's what's so crazy is that 10 people could look at the same piece of art and take something different from it.
Exactly. And it's one of the great, interesting things about art to me is that, some looks like my 3-year-old could have done it. Maybe a 3-year-old did do it, but
And Dad's stealing his work.
but it's just what inspires and people and the passion of the artist. And we have artists here that it became their retirement gig. They were not artists during the first half of life, and then they retired, and they're like, this is great. I'm creative.
And then we did a story in our magazine. We did of a young lady who she was born with no arms or feet, and she paints with her mouth, and they're beautiful. I mean, it's true art. I mean, I can't paint with my hand, so I don't know how that happens. But I mean, it really is. I guess it's like someone that plays the piano. It's just something they have that unfortunately I don't.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, it's still a retirement gig.
It might come to me.
It might come to me.
Might be a calming thing for you, Kel. Something calming.
I'm thinking you might need to paint too after today, so we're both going to get some paints.
Also, a very creative art form.
Yeah, my
Stand-up
dad.
comedy.
You know what? I could do it.
see anger
I am
in her
so
painting.
funny. My dad was an artist, and I'm mad that I didn't get the talent. He could sit here and sketch you within minutes, and it would look just like you holding the mic. And then he started doing oil paintings later in life. He's passed now, but I just find it incredible, the ability. So back to the art show. What street do we start from with booth, and what street are we ending with booths?
We're on Main Street.
Okay.
We start at First Capitol.
Okay, down there.
Yeah, on the south end for us.
Okay.
And then all the way north up to
the Foundry Art?
We're really close to the Foundry, to Monroe, Adams. We've got our Children's Village where kids can come create because we want to inspire art in all ages.
Oh, heck yeah.
And we also have a pet adoption.
Yeah, which I like that.
tent today.
You've got that is going to be the Stray Paws
Stray
Rescue.
Paws.
We'll actually have adoptable pets.
Yes.
Down there. I'm not going to go anywhere near that tent because we had one. I said I would not get another dog, and we now have Olive. If we go there, we might have
Olive
Fred.
might need a friend. Yes.
Olive has Louie. We have 2 dogs, so I'm not going to go near that because that makes it really difficult to walk away because you want to take them all home. And I had mentioned earlier, I'm excited that Mary Hedeker is brought into this. She was a big part of this for many years.
We were her passion project.
Yes.
Yes, she was a huge part of our festival for years, and it was a great loss.
Now you have achieving recovery, resiliency, and responsibility through creativity. Provides creative opportunities, I guess, for to help people that need additional service and help. The artist helping them. That's another one that you have here going on. What is Blank Canvas Studios? That's for people with disabilities.
With some disabilities, and they create art. So both of those groups are here with a tent, and they're artists for sale.
And then you have this actual art festival is dedicated to the memory of dear friend James Ingram. Can you tell me a little bit about him?
Jim.
Look at you.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
It's very recent. Very recent. Jim passed away earlier this month.
I'm so
unexpectedly.
sorry.
He was a passionate volunteer on our board.
Heart and soul.
Yes. So we'll feel his loss and miss him.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's been tough.
You have 72 art booths to be able to go through today.
Yes.
And then what's fun is if you come down to this gorgeous historical Main Street here in St. Charles, there's shops, retail shops. There's about 30 restaurants. They've got ice cream shops and bakeries and things to be able to enjoy as you're going through the different booths that you have. You can bring your dog, walk along, or if it's a nice dog.
Yes. Well, yes.
Only bring your nice
bring
dog.
your nice dogs. Your kids. Yeah, but a couple of the restaurants even have set up out on the street.
Oh,
so
good.
There's some outdoor dining going on. I've seen lots of ice cream cones.
Ice cream cones.
Walking up and down the street.
I'm going to need one layered with alcohol after today.
I like that plan.
Yeah, you can get those at some places, can't you? So we're going to be talking. It looks like we are lucky enough to have Nelson Perez come back down and talk to us about his art. So we'd love to bring him over. Denise Wulff, she is the president of the Mosaics Fine Art Festival, and we thank you for all that you do, along with Melinda Nolan, who is busy driving the golf cart back and forth, bringing people to and from everywhere they need to go, and all the hours that you have spent, not just yesterday and this week, but throughout the entire year getting ready to get this event together. We thank you for that, because that's what brings people, business, brings the community together, brings in revenue for businesses, and these artists have a way of showcasing their art, and also this is their livelihood. So we appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'll hold that, and we'll bring Nelson over here to join us. It looks like he has some artwork with him. Well, what we didn't ask, we forgot to ask is if Denise, you would rather be a famous artist, or if you would rather have a famous art piece.
I think I'd be the famous artist.
She would like to be the famous artist. But you're never famous till you pass. So there you go. We'll be talking about you long after you're gone. Well, hi, Nelson. How are you? Thanks for coming back.
Well, of course.
There you go. We're doing much better now. Winging this show by the seat of our pants is what we're doing. So, Nelson, you are an artist. You're here today at the Mosaics Fine Art Festival. Where's your booth located? Hold that right on up here like you're singing a song.
My booth is located, it's number 52. It's almost across the street from Tony's, which is a great location for me because there's a bar right there and everything.
They have great food. In fact, we had a filet mignon there one time that was amazing, and their cheeseburger is just as amazing. You can't go wrong with either one.
Yeah, I think
And they're
last year
old-fashioned.
Oh, yeah. They're
They help
old-fashioned.
to cater for the artists. Yeah, that's one of the perks of doing this show is they treat us like we're superstars.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah, so I had their burger last year, and then I wound up going the next day and having another one because it was that good.
Well, I was going to start being a vegan as of today, but it looks like it'll be tomorrow, so we're going to go get a cheeseburger.
Absolutely. we
Good,
are.
so you'll still be pleasant today.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but we'll see what happens on that. So how long? Because I find it fascinating. We've met some people through, out our time with what we do with our magazines and radio and that. And we've met our artists who've just figured out they were artists like way, way later in their life. So were you young or was this later?
Well, I mean, I did art when I was young, and I got into doing it professionally because I would do it after work as like a stress relief.
Okay.
Because I used to work for an organization when I lived in St. Louis here called the Guardian Angel Settlement Association, which is a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
So, by the end of the day, you're like, I'm a little stressed out. And my partner was like, I had art like all over the house, and I was told either try to sell it, give it away, but you can't keep it here anymore. And so I did.
So you went from the nonprofit world to an artist. So until you pass, you won't be rich or famous. Nonprofit and being an artist, there's rarely, or a singer, there's just those rare at the top that, make millions or whatever. So.
Well, the benefit is it was very easy to make the change as far as income.
Yeah.
So.
No kidding, nonprofit. You got to love what you do.
Yes.
You just have to love what you do. You cannot go into any of those things with the thought that you're going to be rich and famous, all right? Or either or on that. So you had all this art all over your home.
Yes.
And someone said, okay, you need to show this off.
Yeah, and then I did a showcase. They used to do a raw art showcase in St. Louis, and so in 2012, I was like one of the first shows I showed in, and I actually won Best in St. Louis that year.
Wow, congratulations.
So that was kind of a little boost to tell you that, hey, maybe I can make this a job.
Yeah. Well, get a couple of your pieces here. I'll
sure.
hold your mic while you grab it. And tell us a little bit so you can hold it so they can see it right in there.
So this one is called We Come in Peace.
I'll hold it. I'll be Vanna White. She makes a lot more money.
And it's kind of fun because if you look at it with the glasses, it actually turns full 3D.
What?
So I'll hold it for you so you can look at the glasses.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I got to take these off to be able to do that. Oh my gosh. So you just sit around in your house with 3D glasses on?
Well, not while
This
I'm
is amazing.
painting,
You
but
gotta
while I'm
see this.
relaxing.
You got to see this. Or high.
Yeah, relaxing.
It's
So how
it
do
is
you
medicine now.
How do you get the 3D effect?
It's a layering technique. Like the technology works with color, but I actually don't do any blending on my paintings. So it's built with tons of thin, translucent layers that let me control how the 3D effect works.
How did you figure that out? Like, what happened and go, I'm going to take this one step further?
I went to that haunted house that they have in Soulard. The I forgot what it's called. It's the big one that it's
at Limp
the Limp
Mansion,
Brewery, the
or-
Limp
no,
Mansion?
not it's. They only have it during Halloween.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah,
it's
the Limp is really haunted.
Yeah, it's right there next to Soulard Market. It's like
I know
one of the top
which one you're
5
talking-
haunted
yeah.
houses in the country.
Okay.
And they have a room that's all black light, killer clowns from outer space.
Oh, that's
And I was like,
my
where
favorite
did you
movie.
get 3D
How
paint
can I do
from?
that?
And then they give you glasses. So I went home and I had them in my jacket pocket. And so when I was cleaning out my jacket, I put them on. And then I saw one of the paintings on my wall have something on it. So I walk up to it. I'm like,
The
no
darkness,
way.
yeah.
And then I became
Wow.
obsessed with figuring out. I always say it took a lot of trial, error, and cursing to get right.
That's what we were doing today. Trial, error, and cursing
Oh, yeah,
to
I'll
get
show
the
you
show
the-
working. Here, let me grab that so it
Sure.
doesn't get ruined.
I'll show you the other one.
Okay.
I do have a small obsession with adorable things drinking.
Sock monkey.
So this-
So earlier we talked about that it seems that artists are crazy, like Van Gogh and those that do crazy things. So see, you have a fetish yourself.
I like the
I wouldn't
lace
say
doily
crazy.
effect in the
I
background, too.
consider
Now,
more
is-
interesting.
Yes, there you
this
go.
one's 3D as
so
well.
not crazy, just interesting. Unique's another good word you can use too in your description of yourself. Oh, wow. That is so cool. You got to see. The flowers come off, the bottle
Yes.
comes off. Love that.
Yeah, this one's called monkey juice.
Monkey juice. Do you truly make monkey juice at home?
No, but I drink.
You drink.
So
Sounds
that
like
works
a lot.
for me.
Super. Did you show? Let me show and make sure. So this is monkey juice, and of course we are talking to Nelson Perez. So what is something? Do you have? What are some of the other things? And do you have this goal of something that you want to take 3D to?
Well, luckily enough, anytime I'm walking around, if I come up with an art idea, I'll text myself so I don't forget it when I get home, and then I'll go through text and figure out what I want to try and do. There's nothing yet that I haven't been able to turn 3D if I want to. Like one of the things I get a lot asked is to do family portraits. So I do paintings of people's families.
Can
and
you
stuff,
stick
and
Bobby in the back of the family picture? Make sure he's just kind of set back a little bit.
The one family
So when we
member
look
you
at
don't
it
like.
in 3D, he just kind of disappears.
Technically, yes.
Technically,
Just
yeah.
problem is, in my family portrait, that was me, so it's kind of sad.
So you were in the batch. Now, is anyone else in your family an artist?
Well, I think I have a niece who's 17 now that's really starting to get in art, and she's like deciding that what she wants to do. And her parents can't talk her out of it because I do it for a living. So they can't go, you'll never have a living doing it.
Do you want to eat?
Well, by no means am I a starving artist.
There you go.
That's great.
So again, with your art, when going into this, you know how you started your art. Would you say to somebody out there that thinks maybe they have this innate talent they haven't been able to express, is there anything that you can do to inspire somebody to pick up a pencil or pick up a paintbrush, or that child out there? What would you say? Like what?
The thing is, it's not an innate art to doing art, because it's like anything that's a skill. Like the more you work at it, the better you get. What it is you need to have that motivation to want to create. To say that, like, I know what's in my head needs to be out in the world. And then the more you do it, the better you get.
Sure.
Well, at least most people. Some people don't.
So, do you feel your first piece that you ever decided to create, do you look at it and look at that as very valuable? It's your first piece. Are you keeping that piece, or did you sell it?
No, that's the sad part. Like when I first started showing, I sold a lot of paintings. And I mean, that's a good thing.
Yes.
And there are a couple, like I paint under pseudonym of Vodka Bacon Studios.
What, say that again?
Everything's based
my
around
name's Nelson
drinking.
Perez, but
Isn't it?
my website is vodkabaconstudios.com, and so I'm known in a lot of places as Vodka Bacon Studios.
That's great.
And I had a mascot that I did that's a pig drinking a martini. And I sold it to friends of mine, and I've offered to buy it back, and she's like, nope.
No. Oh, that's so...
But it's wonderful because there are friends of mine. We're really good friends, so I can visit my painting whenever I want.
You know what?
Do you take pictures of all your
Make
paintings so
another
you
one.
have them? Great.
I have a weird thing where even if I recreate the drawing, I won't do the same one because I think it's disrespectful to whoever owns the painting. So like I'll always, even if it's the same concept, I'll make it different enough to where if they're side by side, you'll never be like, it's the same painting.
Right, because they're originals.
Yes.
So you have to keep it the same. Well, we appreciate you so much coming down here and being able to talk to us. Is there anything you want to let know about your booth and what to expect?
When you're walking through, you'll see my booth and you'll figure it's me. I probably have the wildest booth here.
Do you have glasses for be able to put on to look at them?
Yeah. Well, I mean, how mean would I be? I'm like, you want to see it in 3D? Too bad.
Go get your own.
Yeah, just imagine it.
Good luck.
But
Just imagine
I do
it.
gotta say, this is a great show for
Yeah.
artists. They treat us better here than I travel the country, and they're always super nice to us here. And it's the easiest load in, load out, in the most beautiful location.
Well, you are in the Midwest.
Plus, it gives me an excuse to visit friends and family because now I live in Florida.
Okay.
So I drive up here for this show.
Perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Well, we appreciate you so much. How can people see your artwork?
You can see me at my website at www.vodkabaconstudios.com. Same thing with Instagram and Facebook. Or you are welcome to come to any shows. I'll be in Grove Fest on October 1st in the city.
Perfect.
And then you'll always see me at Mosaic as long as they let me in the show.
That's right. As
I
long as they
apply
let you
every
in here.
year.
Well, just don't do anything weird at your booth and you'll get invited
Can't
back.
make that promise.
Keep the vodka away for a little while. Well, thank you so
Can't
much
make
for
that promise either.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it too.
Well, I hope, Melinda, do you have a minute to say hello? So, do you have to drive Nelson back to his booth? All right, come on over here and say hello. All right, we're going to have April Moxley here soon. She is the owner of April's on Main. We love her. She's going to visit with us. And right now, again, just to remind you, if you're just tuning in, we are at the Mosaics Fine Art Festival here on historical Main Street. There are over 70 vendors, and they are fine artists. Fine art, fine artists. It's craft shows are wonderful, but that's not what this is about. This is about art. And so they are here in their finest form, and they go through a huge process to be able to be part of this event, which you call jurying. And there are judges today that will be also picking how many will win. Would one just win, or do you have a first, second, and third? And put that right there.
We have Best of Show,
Best
so
of Show.
that's the first place.
Okay.
And then the other 8 awards are like honorable mention or just, really great picks, you know.
Sure.
I can't remember what we call it on the certificate now.
That's because I asked you right now live.
Yeah.
Is it judged by categories?
No, we
categories?
allow the judge to kind of use his own interpretation on how he wants to judge, and it's not an easy job. You know,
Oh, I
he
bet.
came last night and walked up and down the street and looked at all the artists' work, and now he's back here today actually trying to do the judging.
You know, I would think that would be just so impossible because, you know, it's like when you bake a cake and everyone has to bake the chocolate cake and the look or something. You know, you're doing a kind of a same kind of thing, you know, or judging the best float. You know, you're going to be able to look and go, wow, a lot of time went into that. You can tell by the intricate, blah, blah. But art is so, everyone is so unique and different in the way they do their art. I would just think it would be impossible to pick from one to the other, from a sculpture, a wood piece, or, you know, what we have here at Robert Cornman, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, does anything go into play as far as the booth, the way the booth looks, the booth setup?
Not so much the booth, but the finishing of the art too. So, I mean, if they do a beautiful job in presenting it with the way they frame it, or, you know, just the presentation of it overall. And, you know, I mean, art is subjective. So that's why we also choose a different judge every year, because we don't want the same judge judging, you know, some of the same artists that return every year. We want somebody new and their eyes looking at it.
Sure.
Our judge this year just retired from being a high school teacher for his entire life of art.
That's what we keep finding.
So yeah,
People are finding this later in life, or they've been doing it, maybe playing around on it in their spare time. There's the Faust family.
Yes.
We've got all but one. We're missing the fifth one, but that's enough. The oldest one, she's too busy. You know, Tom, she has a life now.
Oh, certainly.
So we're here sitting with Melinda Nolan, just to make sure you know who we're sitting with. You are also the owner of Romer's Originals, which is jewelry,
Yes.
which obviously you're an artist there. And I asked you earlier, are you an artist? And you said yes. So when you said that, was that on designing jewelry, or do you actually paint or do some type of sculpture?
I don't do any sculpture, but I do paint. I work with resin. I make paper cards for people. I do all kinds of things. I love art. I work in pastels. So, yeah, I love all the different mediums and just trying new things.
Yeah.
I love being creative.
And you don't actually put your booth here or anything like
No.
that. You're too busy working and
Yes.
putting the event on. Do you carry any art in your jewelry store?
I do have prints in the jewelry store,
come
and
in
then
and see those.
most of the originals I've donated to other charities for auctions.
And Romer's
So-
Originals has been around for how many years?
Since 1975. So,
Wow.
gosh, what are we going on now? Almost 50.
That's incredibly
Incredible. Yes.
proud moment to be able
Yeah.
to say that. Any type of business, you know, surviving the years is
Yes.
incredible. But, you know, you have something to offer, that's for sure. When you walk in the door, so much beautiful jewelry. I'll have to
Thank
make
you.
sure when I'm in the door next time to look for the art that you have there as well.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, Melinda Nolan, she is the vice president of the Mosaics Fine Art Festival, who helps to put this incredible event on. And again, all these vendors that you can come down and see. If you're watching this at a later date and you missed the 3-day festival, is it usually always about this time again? Do you usually have it? Where are we?
yeah.
September? That's where we're at right now. Is it usually in September?
It's always the third weekend in September.
Same weekend, so you
Yep.
can't miss it. Just plan on it next year.
Right.
And if people want to get involved and to try to be an artist in your event, what do they need to do to be able to showcase and highlight their work?
So the first step is there's a website that they would go to called Zapplication, Z-A-P-P.
Not application, but Zapplication.
Zapplication.org. And that's actually where artists can go out and apply for a lot of different shows. I mean, all across the country. So they go out to there, they search for mosaics, and then they can put in their application. We usually open that up for application sometime in the end of January, and it goes through the end of April. So they have a lot of time to submit their application, submit their photos of their artwork and their booth. And then that goes through a jury process where we jury to decide whether or not they are fine art, because we do try and stick to fine art, no crafts. We certainly don't want anything that's buy and sell. We want a lot of original artwork. And then we narrow that number down to what we feel is the best fit for our festival.
Wonderful.
And offer them a spot in the
I
show.
know.
Once the application's submitted, how long is the process for them to get it answered?
We usually try and do it within a month. If we can do it faster, we do it faster because we want to, alert them as fast as we
And
can.
it has to take a while. I mean, you figure if they end up with anywhere from 70 to 100 vendors, to be able to the hundreds that you're receiving to go through to make sure that they're all legit would take, I'm sure, quite a process. Because I did ask if you had a waiting list, because, if some artists end up sick or maybe they sell out of all their art at the last show and can't be here, what do you do? And Denise said, nothing. You have who you have because you do such a strategical process to pick your artist. You can't just go pick another one to be in it.
And we don't feel like it's fair if we did.
Yeah, that's
so,
true. Yeah.
we want everybody to go through the proper channels to get into the show. So
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Melinda.
Thank
I know you're
you.
busy and you
Thank
got
you.
to get Nelson back to his booth, and we appreciate you having us here, and we look forward to being able to enjoy and see all the beautiful art ourselves as when we finish.
great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I think we have April here.
Yep,
now.
She
she's
is.
coming
She's
all
coming all
over.
over.
So April Moxley is the owner of April's on Main, as well as designs. Do I say Ave? I've never said it out loud. I just look at it all the time. Avi?
Designs.
Ave. There she is. She's coming up to correct
She's
me
gonna
on it.
correct
I'm like, it's not EVE, it's AVE. It looks like shortened for Avenue, so I'm sure I'm doing that wrong, but
I've never been called the right name my whole life, so you know what?
what's it matter?
I know. I'll answer to anything.
I'm so glad you're sitting with us.
Thanks for having me.
We just-
Beautiful day out
we
here.
just love you, and we love your store. So your store is the go-to for any occasion gift buying. You've saved my life on so many occasions,
Aw.
except for if I've waited until you're closed. That's when we've run into a problem.
You can
But
always call me. We live close.
I have come in 5 minutes to closing. I go right to the right. You've got all those great
Mud pie dishes.
Yes, I love those. And then to the left a little bit, I've bought your globes. Our friends that moved to Hawaii, actually, when they sold, I got one of those beautiful globes that have
Oh, yeah.
meaning. So
The Tree of
yeah.
Life, I think, is the
Yeah.
one you bought.
it was incredible. And so I think, you just really have such a selection. I don't know how you even begin, kind of like how they do here at the art festival, picking out the artists that are here. I don't know how you pick everything you have in your store. It's endless.
I do a lot of shopping.
Fun.
Which I
What a
enjoy.
great job.
I always try to find unique or different. So that is my goal when I go to market or something else. It's like, what haven't I seen before? It's kind of what I seek out. But I always also ask my staff. I'm really good, like if I bring a sales rep in, I get their opinion, because just because I like something doesn't mean I'm not missing the boat
Right.
with something totally different. And I'll take a chance if it's something totally off the wall. Like everybody loves my RV bus. Like I never would have thought of an RV
I love the
Gosh,
RV
I
bus.
love
and I
that.
can see it anywhere else around here because I have my sales reps, because I haven't sold one of these yet in the Midwest. I'm like, I'll be the first.
Yes, you will. And you know what else I really like? Since we're talking about art, you had some art pieces in there that you had just gotten, and they were the dogs that looked like rock stars or movie
We
stars.
brought some of them out today, and now we have the
Oh, I do
posters.
see
They're
them.
$6.99, and we have. I mean, there's Michael Jackson. We had the Queen. The day the Queen died. we sold every one of her
I was
posters.
going to say that had to
I'm
go
gonna go
really, really
grab one
fast.
P. Diddy. Oh yeah,
Okay,
you
gonna
should.
go get
They're
it so you
adorable.
can show it?
Yeah, they're
Be
right
careful.
inside the door.
Don't unplug us somehow while you're walking.
But they're just fun. I looked for those for probably 5 years, and I kept asking every one of my art vendors, "Can you please find this for me? Can you please find this?" I rounded the corner this year in January at market. My mom goes, "Isn't that what you're looking for?" And there's this whole wall.
So
I
you
was in
actually
heaven.
try to make sure that within your plethora of items that you have, even furniture, which is gorgeous in your designs by Ave, as I say it correctly now, you actually look for artists like we have on the streets here, fine artists, to be actually in your store.
I like to have local if I can, but
Yes.
of course that's I do have a good selection of that too. But I go to larger.
Well, everyone
markets.
that's not here is not local either. We've got
Right.
local, but I saw Florida and North Carolina maybe and Minnesota. I mean, they were from all over.
And I like unique.
Yeah.
And that's my big thing when I go to market. I'm like, who else in this area has it? Because if anybody has it, I don't want to step on their toes and carry something as well, but I want to have something that they're not going to see at every store over
Sure.
and over again.
So, me being an old rocker, I had to pick out an old rocker myself, and that is Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper as the cat. I love them.
Fantastic.
Doesn't it just make you laugh? I mean, like you
Oh,
can't
these
not
are
be
great.
happy when you
I'd
see
want
that.
There's
one
Slash
and a
over there.
bulldog.
There's P. Diddy.
There might be a bull. I'm trying to think what they brought out. They're going to introduce at this market 21 new.
Slash is over
additions.
there. P. Diddy and
Oh, we had Katy Perry. We had Adele.
what's the singer that passed away? She had just started.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse. Yes.
Yeah, she's one of my favorites. That's
Yeah.
over there.
So
And
there you
that's
go.
over there? Okay, we'll have to come take a look at that. What inspires you? Now, are you an artist or just a creative shopper?
You know, actually, I went to school for business and management, and I hated it. I can't even balance my checkbook. But I liked the flair. I
Do
like
people
design,
do
I
that
like
anymore?
interest. My mother.
I have.
My mom does too.
All I do is pull it up online. Oh, there's still money.
That's how I like
can
my shopping
spend.
today. And like that, I love. I like bold colors. Don't ask why I dress
Where'd
blah
that charge
today,
come
but-
from?
No, I like color. I like interest. So I always, and I'm not afraid to try things out and put things together. And that's why I often tell people, just because you're tired of it in your house, you've seen it the same way, the same time.
Yeah.
Let us come in with a different eye, because sometimes it's where we're going to place it, that it's a change for you. Maybe we can add a color or take something out, and it's going to look totally different without, investing a ton of money. We can just switch something up.
You
for
just said that you would come into someone's home and help them place something?
I probably go to somebody's house once a week. But yeah, we do. At Christmas, we have, I think we're 80 some houses in this year that we're going to decorate.
And when will you find the time? Because you're one busy woman.
I have great
Okay?
staff that helps. I have great staff. But no,
Thank goodness.
we're actually doing the convention center on Halloween this year, because we kind of ran
That's
out of
fabulous.
options when they weren't busy and when we weren't busy. So
You know what I love about you too, besides everything? You're really involved with Historical Main Street. I mean, you're involved in the events and the music, and I'm sure you're playing a role sponsoring, or are you? You're just a part of this event, aren't you, in some way as well?
no, I always like to contribute. I always try to promote them and anything
Yeah.
else. And the people that put it on, they do a great job. They don't need my help, no.
Well,
But
you're
do
just
like-
very involved. You just always are putting things out there and really bringing people to the streets, and that's
It's
what's
important
needed.
to have that. And I mean, I have great neighbors down here. I absolutely love North Main. Every one of my neighbors couldn't be any nicer, and we have a great relationship down here. And like Music on Main that we put on, it's a great, it's a little event, but it's a nice local thing. And I have nothing to do with music, but it gets people down here. It gets them happy.
That's
It's just
what
a
it's all
happy
about.
place. So I enjoy stuff like that. And we have the Ice Fest. But yeah, Mosaics is actually my favorite show of the year, followed by Ice Fest, which is in January that I
Yeah,
do. But
isn't that incredible?
It's just, how can you not like it? Every piece of art is unique. It's different. It's beautiful. I mean, and this weekend they had great weather, which I'm so happy for.
Oh
'cause
gosh, it couldn't be better.
yeah.
It's just absolutely gorgeous. We have to say, have you ever been to a Chiefs game?
No, but I saw you guys over there.
Holy heavens to Betsy, it was the most amazing, besides being here right now, at the art festival. The Chiefs football game is
like a
nothing
college
I've
game.
ever
College
experienced.
atmosphere.
And we went to the Mizzou game, and that was exciting. I loved it. I'm
like
sorry, Mizzou. It was the most amazing event I've ever been to.
Now, I did go to the Chiefs Stadium for the concert the other day.
What'd you go see?
I can't even take the country singer. Why can't I not think of his name? I waited forever to go see him.
Let's see, what do we...
Luke Bryan.
George Strait. No,
George
it's a real-
Strait.
George
Oh,
Strait lost. Yeah, we
George
went there for the
Strait.
all the way... Oh, how
Absolutely.
fun.
Yeah, we did a 24-hour road trip to go see George
Oh,
Strait. And
how fun.
first time I'd ever been to Arrowhead Stadium, and it was
It
fabulous.
was amazing. Just the people, the crowd, the excitement, the cheering. I mean, it was such a high. When we walked back to our car, we were absolutely exhausted because your adrenaline
Yeah.
is just taken to the
Adrenaline
highest
high.
levels being part of this event. So events are exciting. They do bring a lot to cities and communities, and this is something that brings just a beautiful, beautiful aura, energy
And
to
arts
the
are
community.
very important to a community. I mean, people don't understand the importance of art, and it, like I said, there are people from all over. This one right here from Florida is probably my favorite. I usually try to purchase one piece every year, so
Yeah.
mine this year will be out of his booth.
And we're gonna talk
I
to
want the
Robert
big picture
here.
in the back, but
Oh,
I
I do
my husband
too.
would agree to that one.
Well, it's only because you'd have to write a check out of your checkbook,
Yeah.
right? That's right.
Maybe miss the house.
But I bet if he gave it to you, you'd bring it home.
There's about 10 in there I would absolutely love to have.
Look at that tree.
Arts are a huge part of our community that you have to have it.
Yeah.
And just like history, am I a big history buff? I'm not going to read a history book, but there's importance of knowing about Lewis and Clark and Sag. All those things make the community what it is. So
Yeah, it is.
Even if you notice just remember tidbits about it and make a few things memorable. But yeah, every year this is the one event I look
Good or
forward
bad,
to.
it's who we are.
Yep.
It's where we've come from. So
Yep.
incredible. April Moxley, thank you so much. April's
Yes,
on
thanks
Main.
for having us.
Designs by Ave. We appreciate you coming over and saying hello. We appreciate you being part of St. Charles County City
Well, it's an
Lifestyle. We
honor.
love
Thanks for
having you
having
in
us.
there.
All
Thank
right,
you.
take care.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I thought Gordon was going to try to keep it.
I was going to think about it.
Does Robert have a minute to come over and say hello? He is an abstract expressionist. Cool name. We're going to find out what that means. His work. Is there a way that one of your
I'll move
Robert?
it.
Is
I'll
there?
move- I'll move the
Well,
camera.
ask him if you can. Oh, is there a way that Robert we can showcase one of your pieces, the tree or something?
grab one.
I will grab one. I'm not grabbing one. I saw them. The price tag's next to it. I'm not dropping it. There's a lot of work that goes into that.
We'll let Robert display
Yeah, we'll
it.
let Robert hold it. Otherwise, we're going to be taking it home, which that's a good idea, actually, but not with a dent in it. So, yes, it's gorgeous. I absolutely love that. It's just like, it's almost magical, and you'll have to hold that up there. So tell us a little bit about, so first of all, you're an abstract expressionist, Robert Cornman. Tell us what that means.
Okay, I'm an expressionistic painter. So what I do is I mess with a lot of different types of paint. I'm wanting the reactions in the paint, whereas if it's all acrylic, you don't get a lot of reactions.
Okay.
I'm after those reactions, like Jackson Pollock.
Okay.
Except I have to have more control.
And you're not crazy.
Yeah. I'm not drunk today. So yeah. I have some OCD issues, so I have to have a plan.
See, we're all artists, creative people. We just got
My
stuff.
favorite
We all
joke.
have
She's so
issues,
OCD,
right?
she spells it CDO.
Oh my gosh.
But now, like on this guy here, the dots are all fingerprints.
What?
Yeah, so it's 14 types of paint. One like
All
this.
of these are fingerprints?
Correct. And then if you see any cracks in the paint,
A lot of
that's-
DNA in there.
That's actually tattoo ink. Fingernail polish. I paint with 3 types of makeup. And then now the background, the tree trunks, and the baselines are 9 dental tools.
So you're a makeup artist.
Yeah.
Dental tools.
I play a lot. I have a blast. It's,
Wow.
So does real quick, so they're made out of dental tools. So is that a selling piece for you for dentists to have in their dental
My
offices?
dentist-
doing teeth?
My dentist thinks it's kind of funny because when I'm in there, he'll lean over the chair and say, I've counted all those. And yeah, I get a
sure
little
you take 'em home with you.
aggravated because I'm sitting in the chair looking at a white ceiling and I'm like, dude, I know an artist that can paint something up there.
Make that a lot
So-
better to look at.
Or I asked him, I said, you could drop one. So
So you're just experimenting and finding things that make detail for you.
correct. And sometimes it's a good experiment or sometimes something cool will happen and I can't recreate it. I don't keep track of which paint goes on first. I do know the fingernail polish is very thick, so it has to go on last or it will sink into the paint and you'll never know it's there.
It's
Wow.
just spectacular. And you have, I mean, for anyone who's watching it, on the YouTube or the Facebook and that, you can't see all the different pieces that you have, which are just quite
Here,
incredible.
I'll move the
The
camera
tree just really, I'm afraid if you move anything, we've had so much technological problems today. If he moves it and we're gone, I'll literally just have to throw my hands in the air and start crying. So now how did you come about? So you're saying does a tree come to your head or did you have that intention going in?
No, I know waking up if I'm going to paint a tree or an abstract, but the trees I take and bend them. I don't paint from a photograph. I just shape them and bend them out of my head. It gives me a little more freedom with them.
Do you have your favorite? I mean, you have sort of I mean, that's very different, the black, the white, and the red, but a lot of them have these gorgeous colors in them. Is that what resonates in your eyesight of your favorite?
I do about 50-50 as far as abstracts versus trees, but the abstracts get retired as I come out with a new abstract. The black and red one and white one down there, that's some of the new ones coming out.
Were you angry when you did that one?
No. I have some issues every once in a while, but yeah, that one.
It's like I see different personalities in all of your artwork.
I'm experimenting. I have a glow-in-the-dark series getting ready to launch, and so that one was an experiment to see if the glow-in-the-dark paints would work.
You're so lucky. I mean,
See, I'm a 70s guy, so blacklight art is perfect for me.
it'd be great.
It has its moments, but sometimes they don't work well, and they don't work well with other paints. They just don't get along. So
Is there something that you see, that you visualize, that you want to put into, you have the tree that you want to put into artwork like that?
I have a couple of paintings that I hide things in just because I can.
Hide things in.
And the kids get a kick out of it. The color, the kids resonate to the booth very well because of the color, and I like talking to the kids.
Do you mean if we look in one of your abstracts, we might see something or visualize something you've drawn in that?
If you find something in those, it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, 'cause I see a shark.
That's all you.
Kind of like cloud formation. It's
Right.
like, it was a dinosaur. I see a dog.
I have a print of one in there that I did hide. I had 10 robots and a robot dog and an alligator and a bird in, but I sold it at its first show. which that one took me a year. It's a new series that I have launching called the Graffiti series, but it
Is everything with your fingers and tools?
Everything. I only have one
Fingerprints, I should
painting
say.
in there that's done with a brush. I don't paint with brushes.
And everything is type of a fingerprint.
Correct. A fingerprint that are dental tools.
How do you give it the beautiful? It looks like glass.
An epoxy form on it. Like this one has 2 coats, so this has been heated with a torch for 8 hours. If they fall off there, they will break.
Really?
Yeah.
Aren't you glad you didn't touch it now?
I'm really glad.
I'm really glad you didn't touch it.
That's the first thing people ask is if they can touch it.
No way.
Touching them is not going to hurt them.
It's dropping it.
It's dropping.
That
and
would
they're
be
on
me.
curtain hooks, so they're held up there pretty
It's
well.
not that I would drop it. I would fall and drop it. I'm extremely clumsy. I'm always doing something wrong.
I tell people I'm not going to drop one of the small ones. I'm going to drop one of the big guys. If I'm going to drop it,
don't.
you drop big or go home.
You travel all over the country as well.
I do.
And so what is one of the places, do you have something where your art hangs that you just, it warms your heart?
I have paintings all over. In Memphis, I have a couple that hang in a museum there, which
That's cool.
One of them hangs in the St. Jude's, which is the kids get to see it, the people get to see it. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
So,
oh,
and I like when people come in and they've owned one or they've bought one somewhere else in the country. And I had a couple last night that way. And you never forget where you come from.
Yes.
And you have to be humble with this.
absolutely.
So-
How now is this your first time here in
my
St. Charles, or have you been here before?
It's my second year here.
Oh, okay.
I grew up here.
Oh, okay.
Raised my kids in Kirkwood, but now I live in Florida.
Oh, Kirkwood's
So,
a great area too, isn't it?
Yes.
And now you're in Florida.
Now I live in
Lucky,
Florida.
lucky. What part of Florida are you in?
I live in Lakeland.
Which would be, for someone that's not from Florida, give me something
I
I
live
might know.
halfway between Tampa and Orlando.
We know those.
Yep.
I'm
So-
not going to evacuate for a hurricane. That's my whole. I'm not moving for a hurricane.
We
So,
would love to be in Florida someday. What a great area.
It's a good area.
I got to see palm. If you do a palm tree, will you call me and send me a picture? Because I could
That's-
be a buyer.
I'm trying to get to the palm trees. That's the goal. is
Palm
to
trees are
paint a
my,
couple.
when I see it in person or I see photos, it's something that, makes me feel better. If I'm in a bad mood, show me a palm tree, water, and I'm a better person.
I like palm trees.
See, I see like a unicorn without his unicorn thing. See the little
There's-
blue?
Without
the
his
blue looks like a
unicorn
horse.
thing.
It looks like a
What
little
is a
bitty horse.
unicorn without a unicorn?
Yeah,
That
that would
doesn't
be a
make sense,
horse.
Do
Gordon.
you see what I'm seeing? The blue?
I see a piggy.
You see a pig.
Yeah.
I see a pink mane on the blue horse.
Is that supposed to be in there? Because we see an
I
animal.
don't put anything in those. Those is.
Can you see that
that's
blue he's
all-
talking
Are you
about?
seeing what I'm
Is
seeing?
it in the bottom one?
It's
Up
up
on
in
the
the
top.
top, that one that goes long. You have the big one, and it's down from there. He's pointing to it. See? We both see an animal.
Okay.
But see,
Yeah.
we're trying hard. It's like looking at clouds, and we're trying to find a picture
Well,
out of
what's
it.
people will
crazy-
turn them and see all kinds of stuff.
When I got closer to it, it kind of went away. As I come back further, I see it.
So it just depends on where you're at, where you're looking
Yep.
at it. Cindy, a friend of mine, was sending some artwork that they've purchased here and other places, and one of them has a guy holding a boat, and it's in the water, and then there's these storm clouds that are rumbling behind him or left. And she said the question of that art piece is he putting his boat in the water and the storm's going away, or is he pulling his boat out and the storm is coming to you? And then you're staring at it for an hour, trying to figure out what resonates with you. And mine was he was pulling it out, the storm was coming. So
It's all depends on how you want to look at it. And,
Yeah.
I mean, and just like with these, people can turn them and they see totally different things, and
Right.
that's fine with me.
Well, I love your artwork. It's just
Thank you.
gorgeous. I'm glad that we got to be lucky enough to sit next to it, and we're going to come over and look at it a little bit closer as, we had to take time to get in the show. So that is Robert Cornman. I'm looking up at his sign, Cornman Art. So you can go to Robert Cornman, that's C-O-R, just like corn, man, M-A-N. So Cornman, Robert Cornman, art.com. Take a look at his gorgeous work. If you're lucky enough to come down to the art fair and see it in person, what booth number are you?
69A.
69A, right across from April's on Main. I'm sure we all know where that is, so it'll be easy to find you. Thanks for coming over and taking
you for
some
having
time
me.
talking with us, and I just want to touch it. Really cool. Thank you
You
so
are.
much. Appreciate it. Don't drop it. Not because you walked
set
over
him up
here.
for failure now.
Watch the many zillions of chords that we have going on. Wow. All right. So we made it.
We made it.
We actually got through it. It's not our typical, most of our podcasts, Gordon's doing all the little labels and throwing pictures of artists and things like he was supposed to do, but we at least got to get onto the show. An hour late, but we did get here.
We did.
But that's the cool beauty about a podcast. we can really actually be anytime we want, because you can listen to the show anytime you want. It will be loaded up on all of your favorite podcast sites. It will be on the YouTube channel. And of course, it's always on Facebook. And I guess we'll load the link to
YouTube?
to Instagram.
Instagram,
Yeah, it'll be on
yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
In Your City Show. That is what you'll want to look for. And like our page on Facebook, enjoy that, see all the fun things. And then, of course, our show is brought to you by who, Gordon?
City
Did you
Lifestyle
just look at
Magazine.
Did you know what Gordon just did?
What?
I asked you what we were brought to you by, and you looked over at the magazines just in case you forgot that we own Chesterfield,
No,
Clayton, and St.
I
Charles.
wanted to make sure they were there so people could see them.
That's what it was. You didn't just have a brain
How would I
fart
forget who we're brought to you by?
because I asked you.
Who is most of the community brought to you by in our community? City Lifestyle Magazine.
You know, we do have a lot of fun being part of things. We're going to be at the polo match, not our podcast, just us having fun with Cynthia Cynthia.
Yeah, Dr. Cynthia Fleck.
Yeah, just because she goes CC and doctor, sometimes I'm like, what should I say it by? But we're going to the polo match, which is for Cardinal Glennon.
Correct.
And we'll be there for that. I'm excited about the event with the Blues Better Halves. That's the wife.
And we haven't gotten to mention the amazing event that we had for all of our advertisers and those that support the magazine.
Yeah, so go mention that before we go. So the Betters Half is going to be an event at Stiefel Theater, and it's going to be the wives and girlfriends of the blues players. We're going to be putting on a fashion show. There's going to be booths there. So if you're interested, you can get a hold of me of that as well, being part of that. That's with Dominique Berube, which is Coach Berube's wife. She's lovely. She's a fashion designer herself.
Correct, and that's art. And then we had just such a beautiful event on the Miss Augusta
Amazing.
for our lifestyle family, and it was just incredible. We had a lot of great people, and we were honored to have Mr. and Mrs. Hoffman on the boat, and as well, which I love the fact that they RSVP'd.
We call them Jerry and Dave now, though.
The fact that they RSVP'd to be on their own boat was pretty funny.
Was great.
And always having Ozzy and Nico and
Ozzy Smith, in case
Yolanda.
anyone doesn't know who Ozzy is. It was
Yeah.
Ozzy Smith. You know, he came there, which was awesome. Because,
wasn't Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. His son was featured. Well, Ozzy actually was on our June cover like 3 years ago.
2018.
But Nico has come back to St. Louis. Is such a gentleman, such an outstanding young man. Came back home. He wanted to be closer to family. He was out there in California. And he took on the lead role as lead singer for Dirty Mugs, which is an incredible band. Oh my gosh, they're fantastic. I haven't heard them. And so we had put him on our June cover for St. Charles. That's where Nico lives now, is out here in St. Charles. And then Yolanda Langford, which is Ozzy's main love, you know, she was on the cover of May issue, and he came to support them and support us as well, and we really appreciate him being there. It was just we had so many great people on the boat with us that day, supporting and being part of the event.
And I can't say enough about Miss Augusta and the fine
Oh, my
staff
gosh.
there. They just put
You're
on an
looking to have an
incredible event that, and I mean, just, you know, taking care of our guests and just making sure everything was absolutely 100% perfect.
Oh, I mean, if you are thinking about having an event, a wedding, a private party, or maybe just want to we also got invited to our good friends, Rob and Debbie. It was Rob's birthday, and Debbie had a dinner on the main level, and there was I think she had 20 people maybe or something, and the boat was still open for its regular guests, but they had a private dinner, so you don't have to actually have the boat completely private to yourself like we did, which was incredible, but you can have small intimate parties, maybe even a baby shower aboard the boat. Really was fantastic. So we can't thank them enough. You can see them, of course, throughout our magazines. They'll be on the back cover of our upcoming issue for November. Sometimes I forget what issue we're on because we work so far ahead all the time, but our September issue is out right now, and on the cover of that is the Miss Augusta Clothing Company with the beautiful Abby and Gabrielle Stahlschmidt, and our Clayton issue has the incredibly talented and what beautiful females we had on our covers. How lucky are we for that? But she is Dr. Erin Frondoff, and she owns Boca Orthodontics plus Whitening Studio. So some great women out there achieving and
Beautiful
doing
studio
some
itself,
incredible
yeah.
things. Actually, Jerry Hoffman owns the Augusta Clothing. That's her baby.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. We're so glad that the show got up running. Come down here. They're going to be here till 8 p.m. this evening. They'll be here tomorrow till 4 p.m. And that is the Mosaics Fine Art Festival.
That's absolutely. And there's music on the main stages. And so you'll see music. You got music, food, art, and all the stores are open. I mean, it's
The restaurants, and there's things for kids down here going on too. So thank you so much for any of you that have joined and spent your time with us. For you that are listening to it later at another time, we appreciate you so much supporting us in your city show. And of course, we are a huge supporter of community and our cities surrounding. That's what we're passionate about. And if you want to be seen, our magazines and podcasts are the place for you to be, because we will do everything in our power to showcase and feature you. Thank you. Until next time, peace. St. Charles Lifestyle Magazine out here. We would love that.
Because they already picked up all of the...
We would love it, yes. And your ad for the art show is in there.